Today we're going to be graphing systems of linear inequalities. We're going to start like we do all graphing with the y-intercept, so we'll call this the, where's my blue line? So we're going to start at -1, which is the y-intercept. And then we're going to go down 3 and over 1. So there's that one. Now, just like greater than and less than are open circles on our number line, and greater than or equal to and less than or equal to are closed circles on our number line, when we graph in the coordinate plane, greater than or less than are dotted lines, greater than or equal to and less than or equal to are solid lines. So since the first one, the blue line, is less than or equal to, we're going to have a solid line. We'll talk about shading in a second. The next one, we'll call it the green line. We'll start at -2. Because again, that is the y-intercept. Then we're going to make the slope of fraction, that's 3 over 1. So this time we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. It is going to be a dotted line because it is just greater than. So there's my dotted line. Now we're going to talk about shading. Let's talk about the blue line first. Alright, y is less than or equal to. So, I'm going to highlight this real fast. There are my y values. Where are the smaller y values? Y is less than. Where are the smaller y values? That would be below the line. So we're going to shade below the line. Alright, now for the green line. It is y is greater than. So where are my greater than y values? Again, it separates from those y values from those y values. Those are above and below the green line. We want the greater than ones. The greater than ones are above the line. So we're going to shade above the line. So my solution space is where they're both shaded. So my solution space for this one is right there. I don't care when you're doing these problems for your test or your quiz. If you circle it, draw an arrow, I'll just distinguish that region for me. All right, next question. The same idea. We're going to start at the y-intercept, which is 3 for the green line. There's the y-intercept, it's 3. So we'll put it down at 3. I'm going to make -3 a fraction, that's -3 over 1. So I'm going to go down 3 over 1. So down 1, 2, 3 over 1. There's that line. It's less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line. Alright, now for the blue line. There's my blue line. I'm going to start at -4, which is the y-intercept. Start at -4. I'm going to make 4 a fraction. That's 4 over 1. So I'm going to go up 4 and over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Ooh, said they. It's going to be a dotted line because it is greater than. Alright, shading. Green line. Y is less than. So again, green line. There's where the green line separates your y values. I want the less than y values. So I want these smaller y values. So I'm going to shade below the green line. Blue line. I want greater than y values. So it separates the y values in that region and that region. I want the greater than ones, which will be above the line. The bigger y values, the greater than y values, are above the blue line. Where do they intersect? Again, we could circle, draw an arrow, however you'd want to distinguish, but please just distinguish that region for me. Come back and do that one in a second. Oh, I guess we're going to do that one now. All right. If you recall, let's do the easy one first, actually. So we'll make that the blue line. Y is greater than 3. The line y equals 3 is a horizontal line at 3. Notice it's dotted because it is greater than. So we're going to read again. Y is greater than 3. So where are my bigger y values? They are above the line. So we'll shade that one above the line. Green one. -2. If you recall, x is equal to -2 is a vertical line. And -2 in the x direction. So there's that line. I want my x's greater than. So I want my bigger x values. Do I have bigger x values there or there? I have bigger x values to the right. So I'm going to shade to the right. Again, because x is greater than meaning bigger. And again, where they're both done is my intersection region. And we'll come back to those. Looking at the next question. Now this one looks a little bit weird. So my first suggestion would be to extend out the lines. So just take this line and extend it out. There's that line. And again, not very good drawing a straight line, but that's alright. Take my blue one and extend out that line. Now, I know it's hard to tell if they're dotted or solid. I guess let's make that blue one dotted. Just so we get an example. They'll be drawn better in your test. Alright, blue one. I'm going to start at my y-intercept. So we're looking at y something. Now my y-intercept looks like it is -1. Right there. Slope, I went up 1, 2, 3, and left 1. So +3 over -1. That's my x. And again, that's the same as going down 1, 2, 3 over 1. So the same thing, that would be -3 over 1. 3 divided by -1 is -3. -3 divided by 1 is also -3. So it doesn't matter which way you go. Now, did I shade the bigger or the smaller y values? Now, again, I would expand on my shading just to see. There's where I shaded the blue line. It looks like I shaded the bigger y values. Again, I shaded the top and not the bottom. So that would be the bigger ones. So it is greater than. Now, it's a dotted line, so it's just greater than and not greater than or equal to. Green line. I started at 2. There's that y-intercept again. My slope is up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 over 4. I rose 1. I ran 4. X. Now, did I shade above or below? Again, extend your shading out. I shaded below, so let's just look at it below. I shaded the smaller y values. So it's less than. And it is less than or equal to because I have a solid line. So that's a system of inequalities that are represented by the graph. One more. Again, extend out your lines. Can't draw a straight line. Let's try that again. Sad day. Still can't draw a straight line. Here we go. and the blue one. Now again, I'm making this up. Let's make the blue one dotted. They will be drawn better on your test. Now, again, lines are straight. Please bear with me. Green line. Y-intercept is 2. Slope. I went up 1 and over 2. Line's not straight. Or down 1 and over 3. Either one on your test is fine, obviously, because I can't draw a straight line. So let's call it up 1 over 2, 1/2. Now, did I shade above or below that line? There's the shaded region extended. I shaded above, so it's greater than, and it's going to be greater than or equal to because I have a solid line. Blue line. My y-intercept is -2. I went up 2 over 1 or down 2 over 1. So my slope is -2 over 1 or -2, either way you write is fine. X, I shaded above or below. Did I shade the smaller or the larger y values? I shaded the smaller y value, so it's going to be less than. It is a dotted line, so I don't need that less than or equal to. It just stays less than.